everyone, I'm Kelly from Culikid, and today we have a special guest with us today, my dad.
Thanks, Cal.
Thanks for being with us today.
My pleasure.
Today we're going to make some strawberry shortcake. I'm making it with Dad here because Dad's the one who taught me how to make strawberry shortcake.
It's an easy dessert. It's a family favorite. Now's a great time to get strawberries, May and June, especially out here on Long Island. And we picked up some strawberries from a locally grown farm. And you get these wonderful strawberries and you want to do something with them. So the strawberry shortcake, I think, is a great way to use them.
So this is nice and easy. We're going to be using some pound cake for our shortcake. So nice and easy, we're just going to put together the strawberries and the whipped cream today. And then we'll show you how to assemble it. So to get started, we always want to make sure we have all of our ingredients and supplies. So for our ingredients, we need strawberries, pound cake, sugar, powdered sugar, heavy cream, and vanilla. And for our supplies?
In order to transform these strawberries into strawberry shortcake, you'll need a cutting board, a knife, a masher, a couple of bowls, and a colander.
We also have, for our heavy cream, we have a measuring spoon and measuring cups, and we have a stand mixer. So if you don't have a stand mixer, you'll need one additional bowl and an electric mixer. You could also do it by hand with a whisk, although that will take you some time. And muscle.
And muscle, that's correct.
So you may or may not be able to see it in this shot, but my bowl is actually missing. So the very first thing we're going to do for this recipe is get our bowl into the fridge in order to chill. That's going to make our whipped cream stay together and come together much faster. So the next thing that we do before we get started with our cooking will be to wash our hands, which we have both already done. And if you haven't yet, go take a minute to go do that. And now we're ready to get started with our strawberries.
Okay. First step, you should always wash your strawberries, as with any fruit, and clean it off. And it's always recommended to wash the strawberries. So that's what we shall do right now. Okay, now we've washed the strawberries. We'll bring them back over here and we're ready to start cutting them up. All right, so now we have the washed strawberries. And what we want to do is we want to remove the stems, and you want to save as much of the berry as possible because they're so good. So we'll just remove the stems. If they pluck out, that's fine. If they don't, you might need a knife to kind of dig them out there a little bit. All right, so we want to separate all of that from our strawberries.
So this is a great part for kids to help with too, because you don't need the knife, so you can pluck them right off. But we'll also show you how to do it with a knife if you'd prefer that. Okay, so I just bunch up my leaves here and very carefully, so insert the knife, and then I actually just turn the strawberry around.
Right.
Being careful, and then you have the stem out.
Beautiful. Now these strawberries are very ripe, so these stems come out pretty easily, but sometimes you get strawberries that maybe are a little green at the top, and I find that when they're not fully ripened, you still can make this dessert, but you'll need the knife.
Yes.
Okay, and that's the last strawberry.
Last one.
Okay, so now we have the strawberries washed, stems removed. All right.
Clear off our cutting board.
Yeah, you can clear that out of here. We don't need that. And now, what you want to do is each strawberry should be cut. The small ones obviously only have to be cut in half. The largest strawberries, cut into quarters. And maybe you got some of them that are really big that you can cut a couple of times, like this one.
Looks like two strawberries joined together.
So, I mean, you would cut that a couple of times.
So this is a little bit of a dad maneuver, but if you're a kid at home, maybe don't have the knife into your hand. So you could also just do this on the cutting board.
Correct.
You barely even need your other hand to hold it down. For these at least, they're so ripe. So you
These
can just
are
cut
good
them into,
strawberries. Oh my goodness.
I mean, look at that. Nice and red.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's almost no green on any of these strawberries.
And so what if somebody had frozen strawberries? Where if strawberries weren't in season, you can only get frozen strawberries. Would you do that with this? Maybe
Of course.
this with that?
I mean, if you have frozen strawberries, strawberries are strawberries. Somehow you're going to convert them into strawberry shortcake. And I think frozen strawberries would be fine. Yeah, look how red they are.
I don't think I've ever seen strawberries this red.
You know what? I see that a lot of times with Long Island strawberries, they're perfectly ripened. I guess we're lucky and you get a chance to have strawberries. You want to do something with them. And this is a family favorite that we've done for many years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, show them the strawberries because I think they look beautiful. I'm telling you. You're not going to get better looking strawberries than that, I don't think.
No.
I'm going to wash my hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't want to stain your clothes, so if you're touching the very ripe strawberries, take a break, wash your hands, and we'll be right back. So in case you didn't catch that before, I just want to make sure you could see these strawberries nice and juicy, but also all cut and ready for our next step.
Those strawberries are about the best looking strawberries I think I've ever seen.
Yes.
All right, so now the next step is you'll take a handful of these strawberries, not too many. And I would say, in this particular case, maybe 2 tablespoons, a little extra. Right? You always could put more. And because if you put too many strawberries in, it'll become too soupy.
Looks like this would be about a half a cup if you put that in a measuring cup.
Yeah. And, you know, it looks like a little, but this is what transforms these strawberries into this beautiful strawberry sauce, if you want to call it that. And you want to keep a lot of these strawberries in whole or half pieces. But you'll take this with our masher, and we really mash them down until they're unrecognizable into just this sauce. And like I said, you can always look and say, maybe you can throw in a couple more. Matter of fact, why don't you throw in a couple more?
Okay.
Good. That's it.
Wow.
That's plenty. Now you mash it up. Doesn't take a lot of effort, especially with these strawberries as ripe and beautiful as they are.
So this is our the nice and juicy. It looks like even like liquid,
Right.
more so than jam even. But you know, so I picked this recipe to make with you for Father's Day because I always remember this part, mashing. If you got kids at home, there's something that they can help with and will love to do is the mashing. I remember being little and mashing strawberries.
I was just going to say that because Kelly said to me, Dad, I want to help you do the strawberries. I didn't really think that much of it, but I said, all right, you can help. And I think it turned out to be a nice childhood memory of hers and mine as I look back. And she brought her chair up to the counter and she's up there mashing the strawberries, and it was a wonderful memory, I think, for both of us.
Agreed.
Okay, now we have that beautiful strawberry sauce, if you want to call it. And you can take those strawberries and dump them in here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, one go
Oops.
away. Now, these strawberries are very ripe. Rarely do you get strawberries, I think, this ripe. So what I would do, because they already look like they're pretty sweet, I'm going to put in a tablespoon of sugar.
Actually, may I suggest that we try one and see how sweet they are?
Sure. They're really good.
Wow.
But because these strawberries are so ripe and they're already sweet, 1 tablespoon of sugar will be sufficient. When you get other strawberries that are not quite as ripe, I have put in 2 and 3 tablespoons of sugar. Put that around, and now you take that, and why don't you mix it all up?
Okay.
Give it a good mix. You want to get that sauce on the bottom mixed around all those strawberry pieces. And that looks really good.
Okay.
That looks really good.
So let's put that in the sugar. So now they're all nice and coated in that juice.
Right.
Starting to look like dessert now.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, you could do this with strawberries that are not quite as ripe. And when you put in 2 or 3 tablespoons of sugar, it'll turn them into a very, very sweet strawberry dessert. It doesn't taste tart or hard. And then you would take this bowl of strawberries and you let them sit for a couple of hours so that sugar and the juices of the strawberry all come together, and it makes a wonderful topping for a strawberry shortcake.
Yes. So now we put these in the fridge and let them sit.
Right.
So we're going to go do that, and at the same time we're going to grab our bowl for our mixer and get started on the whipped cream.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're ready to make our whipped cream. We have our stand mixer here, and you want to use the whisk attachment. So we'll just fit this on. Whoops. There we go, turn it the right way. And like I said, if you don't have this, you can use a bowl and an electric mixer, or you could try to use a whisk by hand, which will take you some time.
Not easy.
Yeah, not easy. You'll probably, it's good to have 2 people so you can switch back and forth. So we have our stand mixer ready, and we're going to start with 1 cup of heavy cream.
Alrighty.
Okay, so we have our liquid measuring cup. You'll see as Dad measures it, he's getting down to eye level to make sure that he's measuring it nice and even. So we've got our 1 cup line right here, and perfect.
All right.
Okay.
There you have it.
And so we'll dump this in here. Great. And now lower your mixer, and we're gonna start on low so it doesn't splash, and then we'll turn up the speed. Okay, so we'll turn it on to low. And the good thing about the stand mixer,
Hands off.
you can walk away, go do dishes. So we've only been going about a minute. It's not close yet, but I wanted to just point out that I'm watching it the whole time. Even though it's hands off, we want to be keeping an eye on it. If you go over, then you're going to actually turn it into butter, which is not what we're looking for in this instance. So, and we want to get almost there, and then we're going to add our sugar and vanilla. So we're looking for almost there, and I know you don't know what that means yet, but once we get to that point, I'll show you what the bowl looks like. And that's what you'd be aiming for. It's when it starts to get whipped and start to stay together. So we'll keep going. Let's see. Nope, it's still too drippy. So what I'm looking for also is when you watch the whisk go around, you can see once it starts to stiffen up, you can see the marks that the whisk is leaving. So the longer you can see them and the more defined, the closer you are to whipped cream. So we'll keep going.
Yeah. Looks like something's happening now.
Close enough.
Changing.
Yeah. So it's I think we're at soft peaks now. Well, a little drippy still. But you see this here is holding its shape somewhat, but is still loose. Stiff peaks will be when it doesn't really fall off your finger, but this is where you want to pause and add the rest of our ingredients. So we need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So will you measure that?
Sure.
So 1 teaspoon, we got 1 TSP.
That's the little one.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Nice. Okay.
I like to get every drop of the vanilla.
Good stuff.
All right.
And then 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar.
1 tablespoon.
And while you're doing that, I also want to mention, if you're using these tools and your child enjoys sensory input, a hand mixer is probably a really good tool because they'll feel all the senses of that. If you're using a hand mixer, they can put their hand on top like I did and feel the sensory from that. If your child doesn't enjoy sensory input, then a stand mixer is best because they don't have to feel it, don't have to have that be part of their experience. So that's my 2 cents on that.
All right.
All right, so now we're ready to keep going, and we're looking for what we call stiff peaks, and let's go.
That looks good.
Okay, so I think we've got our stiff peaks, which means that you have this little piece of whipped cream here, and it's staying pretty put.
Yeah, that looks good.
So I want to show you what our bowl looks like as well. You see? And actually this is, oh, it's kind of moving. You can actually go a little bit longer. If you really have it really whipped, you can actually hold the bowl over your head and it won't fall over. Don't do that with this one because it's not there yet. So I think we'll do another like 10 seconds on high speed and then we're done.
Oh yeah, that's changed already.
All right, so we feel good about this one now.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, that looks beautiful.
Pretty good. To know if it's good, we have to taste.
Thank you.
See our whipped cream staying.
Yeah, that looks good.
Stiff.
Oh man,
That's good.
I could eat just that for dessert.
Yeah, it's
That's
really
good.
good. The other thing too is if you are gluten-free or something like that and don't want to have the cake part, that you could do the strawberries the way we made them with cream. That would be fantastic, or even just plain strawberries.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Every part of this dessert is so good.
Yeah, can you tell we like it? This will go into our fridge as well, and when we're ready to assemble after we've left our strawberries for at least like 30 minutes, you would say, at the minimum, then we will assemble our desserts.
Okay, I look forward to that.
All right, we'll be back.
All right, now we're ready to put together our strawberry shortcake.
Okay.
This is the fun part.
Yes,
Well, the whole thing was fun actually.
but we're closer to eating.
Alrighty, now we take our pound cake, cut the edge off because I usually put that aside. And then we cut a piece, I would say, what, 3/4 of an inch?
See, it's
Nice thick slice. 1 and 2. Right? That's the base of our strawberry shortcake.
Okay,
You've got one, I've got one.
perfect.
And we'll take these strawberries.
I got some whipped cream in my arm.
I'll dole out the strawberries and you can dole out the whipped cream.
Okay.
And these strawberries look beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm going to take them right now, put them on top.
So they're on the cake, they're falling off, it's all good. It's all
It
gonna
is,
get mixed
it's
together.
all good.
Don't worry about perfection.
No,
Yeah, that's what you want.
there we go. All right, why don't you do the honors with the whipped cream?
Okay. Now I'll just take a scoop and pop that on top.
Oh my goodness. That looks beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks great. Shall I
we
get
go.
us 2 forks?
I think we will head to that in a second. So there we go. We got our strawberry shortcakes made with Dad.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being with us.
It was a great time for me. I get strawberry shortcake.
Yeah.
And a cooking class with my daughter.
That's right. Well, enjoy everyone. Thanks for cooking with us.